Hello, welcome to Bloomberg Cryptocurrency Analysis News and Education. My name is James Gore, and in this video I'm going to be doing an overview of the Zilliqa project. Just to let you know, this is not a sponsored review. I'm not receiving any monetary compensation from the Zilliqa team or anyone in particular. This is purely of my own personal opinion, and I have to be honest guys, I'm pretty bullish on this project. The reason why it's taken a bit longer to get this video out is because I had to kind of press down the gas pedal when I was looking into why this project is so promising, and really try and think of the other side of the equation, the potential downsides, and the risks of looking to invest in Zilliqa if I was going to do so. So just let you know, this is not financial advice, it's just personal opinion and educational, and to give you some insight into an interesting cryptocurrency project that is really pushing the tech forward. So what is Zilliqa? Zilliqa essentially is dubbed as a high throughput blockchain. They're looking to really push the barrier and edge of what's possible on a single on-chain base layer blockchain to provide services to industries that have high demands for a lot of high amounts of throughput, essentially high demands. So we could think about finance, we could think about even anything that's connected to the internet, really, that has lots of microtransactions or minimal amounts of data being sent back and forth. It might not be very large data, but just due to the speed and nature with which it needs to be sent over a particular network, Zilliqa is looking to kind of solve these problems, and it has a lot to offer. And as of the recording of this video, it's actually made some significant developments, mostly back in May, as demonstrated live, which we'll get to a bit later. But just to quickly talk about Zilliqa, it's an enterprise level blockchain. It's on par to Ethereum's, Neo's, ICX, high throughput blockchain. What else is there? Neo. A lot of these blockchains out there, nulls. A lot of these blockchains out there are looking to provide that kind of solution, that all-in-one solution to these networks. But the interesting thing with Zilliqa is they're actually performing, at least on the testnet, and the mainnet's launching later this year in a couple of months. So Q3, so it's coming down the line. So it'll be launched, and interesting enough, they're actually ahead of the game in a lot of ways compared to a lot of blockchains out there. But also there are some downsides. Let's talk about some of the interesting aspects of this project. So first and foremost, it's not your typical blockchain project. Interestingly enough, it's still a proof of work blockchain. Now, what's different, and you would expect a proof of work blockchain to not be the fastest, but their testnet is currently boasting 2,400 transactions per second. Okay, I think, I can't remember what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is like 5 approximately. Ethereum is 10 to 15. I think Neo's like around 100, 200. I think Nano, which obviously doesn't have smart contracts, but Nano is around 10,000, 8,000 to 10,000 TPS. But it doesn't have smart contracts. But Zilliqa is currently at 2,400 transactions per second. Okay, and that's their current benchmark. And what's different about this project is that, similar to an IOTA, which uses Tangle, and again, this project doesn't use Tangle. It uses a different kind of method to kind of find consensus on the blockchain. But this is really interesting stuff. But the more nodes that are added onto the network, the faster and the larger the network becomes. Network effects, the better, the more TPS they can actually be pushed through this network. And I think they'll find a sweet spot based on their calculations at around 1 million nodes in total. And I was watching an hour 35-minute presentation on the Zilliqa YouTube channel about this project, and they actually have a live working demonstration of sharding as well. Okay, so sharding is an on-chain base layer scaling solution where you essentially, blockchain is you have a sequence of blocks with data, and the blocks get filled with transactions or smart contracts, whatever, and then they get confirmed, and that goes across the network, and that's done in order, and that's immutable. That means once that block is solidified and set there, that can't change. That is on the network, and that's what's one of the beauties of blockchain that provides, it's going to be very disruptive. But sharding takes that single block, and what's one of the kind of criticisms of proof of work, in the traditional sense, is that you'll have, for example, I don't know how many ASIC mining rigs are mining Bitcoin. So when these ASIC rigs are solving mathematical problems for particular blocks, they're all looking to solve mathematical problems for that one specific block, and then they'll receive reward. And that's why it's important that they kind of come together to kind of solve these mathematical problems, and find a consensus and re-solidify these blocks together, because individually so many of these just the competitive nature of it, you wouldn't really be able to be like wasted effort for that particular ASIC, because it's only going to be ones of the most hashing power to be able to do it, essentially. And that's a kind of a simple way to explain how proof of work works. But with sharding, what happens is, instead of everyone working on solving the same problem, so it's essentially a wasted effort, instead what you can have is a single block that's split up into tiny pieces, and then someone's set to do a specific aspect of that block, and someone else is set to do a specific aspect, and so on and so forth, and they all come together, and that's at the end is then solidified together in sequence, and that is the original block. What it means is that you can have much faster transactions on the blockchain on the base layer without compromising the idea of proof of work and still having that sequential block. Okay, so you have micro blocks instead, and I think that's pretty fantastic. It's a great idea, tough tech to develop. However, it's already implemented on Zilliqa blockchain. It's a big deal because Ethereum has been considering sharding. Sharding's coming to other blockchains as well, but Ethereum is not scaling. It's not scaled yet. It's still struggling. The network is overheated still today, just due to what's happening with VECHAIN, but it's an issue. It is a massive issue. So this project already is ahead of the game, always is ahead of Ethereum, and pretty much I'd argue most blockchain projects out there. That includes Neo. That includes most blockchain projects. Now, the downside and the criticisms I have of Zilliqa, despite me being very bullish on this project, is a few things. So first thing, one, this project is providing a non-Turing complete smart language, and it's a smart contract language. So they're creating their own new language. It's not like a Solidity, which is used on the Ethereum blockchain, or like C or Java, which is used on other blockchains like Neo, so they're more accessible. So that's another downside as well. But this language is not Turing complete, and it doesn't need to be, truth be told, but it just means that it's held to a slightly different standard if it is. Now, again, now they're creating their own coding language. It's meant to be more safer in terms of security, less prone to bugs, less issues, actually easy to code in than Solidity, and specifically designed so that when it's designed with scalability in mind. So very, very easy, clean code that allows smart contracts to be implemented on the Zilliqa blockchain to actually provide the scalability function first. So that's a really good idea, because they're programming their blockchain with scalability in mind. Now, the downside of this is that if you're a developer, you now need to learn a whole new language. And this is one of the benefits of Neo. This is one of the benefits of these other blockchains that do pop up, and that, yes, they have Solidity, yes, they have their own proprietary language, but they also do have C#, C++, C, Java, all these other languages that someone that already knows will be able to code in. That being said, provided that this language is more secure, more scalable, that's fantastic, because in the long run, it actually means this network will outpace the competition. So that's a pretty good thing. So we have a couple of downsides, some positives there. So let me just quickly see anything else I've missed. Okay, so let's quickly talk about a few things. So the second thing is the team and this project. So the other downside of this project, and in one way it's hard for this to be a criticism, but it's true, they don't have first mover advantage in this space. So the good thing about Ethereum is that it's the network effect. It's being used, albeit a lot for ICOs, but a lot for digital apps as well. Ethereum is one of the big dogs, one of the main networks, because it's one of the earliest blockchains. The first, I'm not sure it's the first blockchain to provide smart contracts, but it's the first leading blockchain to provide smart contracts. And it does essentially mean that they have a whole history of people that can develop for, are aware of what Ethereum is, used to using Ethereum, has adoption, has partnerships, Ethereum Foundation, etc., etc., etc. Zilliqa over time will kind of need to expand and reach out. And the good thing is that, yes, that's criticism, but the good thing is that they are actually focusing on developing the technology first, as opposed to developing, marketing or hype or any other kinds of aspects. Okay, so just to quickly go over some ideas with the decentralized applications that Zilliqa can provide primarily. So Zilliqa is enabling new decentralized business models which remove middlemen and inefficiencies. The trustless connections formed on Zilliqa's blockchain are creating new ways of interacting and trading with each other, and we've only just begun unfolding possibilities. Gaming and entertainment. Zilliqa's non-fungible tokens allow gamers to truly own and custodize assets rather. Digital advertising. Zilliqa is helping to improve programmatic advertising by automating payments and reducing the number of intermediaries. Payments. Zilliqa's high scalability results in low transaction fees, which make it possible for dApps to make micropayments across borders. So they have some partners, some pretty decent partners. We'd like to see some more. They've been featured in Forbes, and they have a really nice community, which is something I look for with the cryptocurrency project. They're not an inflammatory community where you can see people being highly critical or just rude or not welcoming. But just to quickly go over a bit of the history about this project. So our mission is to bring decentralized movement to everybody. In 2016, our journey began when some of our founding team members of the Zilliqa team wrote an academic paper on the implementation of sharding technology. So for scaling public blockchains. So I forgot to mention this. So the chap that basically created sharding has moved on to this project. So that's a big deal. So that's something to really consider. With such a groundbreaking development in scalability and security, blockchain can now achieve mass adoption and support high throughput use cases. So we have a bit of a roadmap here. Testnet was released last month, V2. In March, the first testnet was released, and they were basically demonstrating how fast the blockchain can go. In May 20, just to quickly check this one date, in May 23rd, they actually demonstrated live that sharding works on their testnet, and the mainnet launches in Q3. So Q3 is coming up pretty soon, very, very soon. The start of next month, so we don't know when, but start of next month. Yep. And it's going to be an interesting one to see, how this compares to other blockchains. The key one with this project, which I'm very bullish on, is the adoption. Adoption is everything. Are we going to see people coding for this? Are we going to see people actually using this? And a good tool and a good website to kind of see this would be CoinGecko, when this actually gets put on CoinGecko. Just because what you can do is you can have a quick look at the development side. Oh, this went straight to BitMEX, but typed in incorrectly. CoinGecko.com. And that's because putting the C before the K. There we go. Apologies, guys. There we go. CoinGecko.com, spelt correctly. Interesting that BitMEX bought that page. Anyway, I digress. So what you can actually do is you can go to the developer section, and then what you can do is dig a bit deeper and take a look at their developer ranking. I think CoinGecko, generally speaking, ranks coins relatively well. I really do think so. So if we quickly take a look, we can see CoinGecko tracks the development activity of the coins via public source code repositories. The reason why we're looking at this is that some coins are no longer maintained by the developer. Thus, those coins would appear very unlikely to progress over time. By looking at how much interest and effort goes around the development community, there's a chance the coin will continue to innovate according to how the cryptocurrency market sees fit, e.g. GitHub, Bitbucket. So as long as projects keep updating and we get people interested, this will be a pretty sound project. Okay, so just lastly, we're going to take a look at the market cap. We're going to talk about its previous price history. We're going to talk about what it was listed for from the ICO and circulating supply versus total supply. So total supply is 12,600 million Zilliqa tokens, ZIL tokens. Okay, current circulating supply is 7.5 billion. Decent trading volume, not the best for a not ideal. Currently a mid-cap coin at 490 million USD. Currently traded on most major exchanges. Currently traded on BitForex mostly, which is interesting. That is pairing with USDT. 30% of the trading volume is there. Then Ubit with Upbit, 16%, followed by Huobi with 13.64%, and then another 13.39% on Binance, and then it's traded against Ethereum, which isn't very liquid. So liquidity is actually pretty decent across a few exchanges. It's nice it's on Binance, but Binance only has $2 million worth of trading volume, whereas most of it's on BitForex. I'd still grab it on Binance, to be fair. But quickly looking at the price now, okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is Zilliqa went parabolic. It didn't go parabolic, I don't think. I can't really see. Let's just quickly check it on TradingView, because it might actually already be on TradingView. It probably is, and I've just not paid attention to the TradingView aspect of this project. Blah blah blah. Goodbye, good sir. Okay, so if we go to Zilliqa, it is. So when I look at the Zilliqa price versus Bitcoin, it's been performing. Of course, it has, because I've been looking at the charts for this one already. It's actually been doing really well, really well. If we go all the way back, it was listed at around on Binance at around 460 satoshis, and managed to smash that and reach a high of 225%. So 225% gain. But let's take a quick look at the dollar value that's on Binance. So it's still a BTC chart. So it dropped on Binance for around 5 cents, opened at 7 cents rather, and reached a high of 20 cents. Currently looking at it, it looks like it's approaching bottom. Okay, it's approaching a bit of a double bottom right here. Okay, obviously there's a sell-off in the market, obviously current market conditions. But what I'm saying, guys, is right now, for me personally, would be the time that I'd be picking up Zilliqa. Okay, the reason being is if you just, or in the next week, if we continue to see a downtrend. Okay, the reason being is if you look at the previous price history of this coin, we can see around this price we've faced resistance. We've faced it once, twice, and then broke above. Okay, we've actually managed to rally above and found some sideways trading and found some resistance here, and then continue to rally above. Similar thing. If we look at the way down as well, we can see on this strong reversal candle we get confirmation for a reversal, still right in 12 moving average exponential. But we can see here that when we had this bounce attempt, we faced resistance here as well. So it's likely that, assuming this coin and this project is going to do well, it's going to face these resistance levels again in the future. But there's literally no reason why it can't smash through its all-time high. And right now it's currently trading at 6 cents. 6 cents, guys. So, you know, this I personally do think this is a coin that could 100x, ultimately 100x your rate of return, even more. So if you're thinking about the long-term potential of this project, I think it has a lot of long-term potential. It's all about them not stumbling on those initial hurdles, you know, especially with regards to actually getting adoption, getting digital apps developed on this blockchain. So again, it's a project I'm very bullish on. We're about to get a bearish MACD cross, so you know, probably by the time this video comes up, keep it in mind, watch the charts, and then consider making an entry if that's something you're interested in. Again, this isn't financial advice, just educational, but you know, I'd always recommend doing some research, just watching just the charts to see if it interests you, because again, this project looks very, very, very promising, guys. Very, very promising. So that's it for this review. Hope you appreciate it. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, hit the notification bell, and comment below. What's your opinion on Zilliqa? Do you already hold Zilliqa? When did you get in? Have you already sold? Have you already doubled up? Let me know. And I hope you have an amazing day. I shall see you very soon in the next video, guys. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you for watching that video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to watch the last news video. There's videos on the left to watch the last educational video. There's videos on the right. If you'd like to support the channel, you can sign up via the referral links, donate crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or Dash, or support via Patreon. See you in the next one. All the best.